Hello everyone, welcome to Deaf Mute Studio. I am joined by Garreth King Kong Ding Dong Gibson, and we are recommending 2 horror films a day through the entirety of October. We are currently on day 15, the 15th of October. So Gib, what is your recommendation for the 15th of October?
All right, my recommendation is Scott Spiegel's Intruder, which came out in 1989, I believe.
You got that spot on. I've never heard of the film, and I had no idea Scott Spiegel made this.
Yeah. It's a film that's in that kind of incestuous pool of like Lawrence Bender produced it. K&B K&B did the effects. It's like didn't that like that little pool of people? So like Sam Raimi's in the film, Ted Raimi's in it. Like it's so that circle kind of filmmakers at the time, all young and hungry. I believe it was K&B's first actual effects that they did as K&B, obviously, and they went on to do a lot of films in the 90s. It's one of my favorite slasher movies. It's such a cool little premise. Like I just love. It's just basically it's set in a supermarket, and it's basically doing like the night shift, doing like stock checks, and it's apparently like the last night it's going to be open, they're going to be closing down, and then they all just start getting offed, and it's one of them kind of like mystery ones where you don't see the killer. It's just you see the hand and close-ups and stuff, so it's kind of a reveal at the end of who the killer is. There's a few red herrings as well, which a little bit ham-fisted. You're like, it's a bit obvious. It's they're trying to sort of throw you off. As I say, it's it's an early film of Lawrence Bender, who went off to work with Quentin Tarantino in all his films. Sam Raimi plays a small little role in it. Ted Raimi, who dies in it. Yeah, good old Ted. He dies in it because he dies in every film that he's in. Yeah, and it's just got some really cool kills. Scott Spiegel, very inventive in his shots and stuff. For the low budget, just things of like a shot at someone with a knife and then about to slash someone, and then it cuts to Ted Raimi cutting in half a pineapple. Things like that. I always love shit like that. Yeah. I wish he'd have made a chance to make a lot more films like this. Like he went on to direct some really bad, like straight to DVD sequels, like Dusk Till Dawn 2, and I think he did one of the Hostel sequels as well. He was really on top form with this one, and he's never really matched like the quality of this. It's one of my favorite slasher movies. It's got a little bit of a cult following, but it's not a film that's talked about very much. So that's why I put it on my list to recommend.
Oh well, I'm sold.
Yeah, and I mean the reason why it didn't do too well when it originally came out is it was it just got put straight to video, and all the gory kills that these great effects that K&B did just all got cut out. All the death scenes were just cutaways, and it was advertised, and there was all images in Fangoria of all these kills, and people were like, "Oh, this movie looks amazing." Then when they watched it, they were like, "Oh, where was the blood?" And it was only up until sort of like 2011, 12, I think. I can't remember who released it on Blu-ray, but it got finally released uncut. So you got to see all the kills, and it's kind of grown as a little bit of a cult following since then.
Oh wow! I mean, yeah, like I say, mate, I'm sold. I'll definitely give that a watch.
Oh, and also has a very brief cameo by the king himself, Bruce Campbell, the man with the chin, with the glorious chin.
There we go.
So
sold. Cherry on top. I'm in. I'll be watching that and looking forward to it as well. Oh, it's it sounds great, mate.
Yeah, it's really good. It's really fun. Really, say very, very, very low budget, but made with made with a lot of, you can say a lot of talented people behind it before they went on to do a lot more bigger things.
Yeah, I'm like I say, like that recommendation, and I will take that on board and watch it. I'm yeah, looking forward to that. That sounds like a really fun film.
It is. It really is.
Oh, cool. Well, excuse me. Well, my pick, Gib, is not nearly as fun, but it's 1992's Bram Stoker's Dracula by Francis Ford Coppola. Although I say it's not as fun, but if Keanu Reeves makes it as fun.
Yeah, his English, is it Yorkshire accent he's meant to be doing or something? It's
I know where the bastard sleeps. Everyone rags on Keanu in this film, and rightfully so. But I love it. Every time he comes on screen, I'm like, Hercules.
He was just, it was very at the time. He was very much hired for his look for that film, wasn't he? It wasn't. I would have just dubbed him, but yeah, no, I'm glad they didn't. To be fair, because it's it's.
It adds to the film, and I believe Francis Ford Coppola said he was trying so hard to nail the accents that like the acting kind of like he couldn't really act when he was trying to nail that accent that wasn't in his wheelhouse. But you know what? God bless him for trying, because I appreciate his efforts. But that's the funny side of Dracula. Bram Stoker's Dracula for me. But on a serious note, I think it's one of the most visually stunning films to come out the 90s. It looks incredible. I mean, even to this day. I mean, I'm biased because I've got a lot of love for this film, but I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, it holds up really well.
And I believe from people who are really into Bram Stoker and the Dracula mythology that this isn't Bram Stoker's Dracula.
Okay.
So the title's a bit misleading.
Yeah.
It should be really Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula, based on Bram Stoker's novel. But
it feels like a ton of different Dracula films all kind of just crammed into one story, because it does feel like it's a lot of different types of film. There's a lot of different variations of Dracula as well, which is why the performance by Gary Oldman is just so memorable.
Oh, it's memorable, iconic. I mean, I've seen so many TV shows that lampoon Dracula when you see him in his, with the get up, the hair, the shadows in the background. Which, by the way, the shadows in the background is just genius.
Yeah.
Absolutely phenomenal. It's got a great cast. I know we previously asked about Keanu, but it's got Gary Oldman, Winona Ryder, Anthony Hopkins, Richard E. Grant, Cary Elwes, Sadie Frost, Tom Waits.
Oh yeah, forgot about that.
Yeah. And one of the women who I will forever love has a very small role in it, Monica Bellucci.
Oh yes, yeah.
She's one of Dracula's very beautiful wives.
Yeah, for now I forgot she was in it as well. But yeah, no, great pick. So yeah, really good film. It's it's one that I've not seen for a while. I could do to get a rewatch. How long is it? Is it about 3 hours long? It's like
just over 2. I mean,
is it? I always remember that film being so much more longer.
I think it's because it's so epic, Gib.
Yeah, no, that's to say it's probably a compliment, really.
Yeah, it's and I was at a wedding once, Gib, and I was having a discussion about Bram Stoker's Dracula, saying how good it was, and no one had seen it.
Oh. I remember it was one of those films that was on TV loads back in the day, and it was it was.
I remember
a big hit at the time as well, wasn't it?
Yeah, I remember being around when I was out in cinemas, and it being quite a big deal.
Yeah. No, it's but definitely got a timeless sort of feel to it as well, and it holds up. I saw it a few years ago, and it still really holds up.
I mean, I absolutely love the intro where it's just silhouetted, its background, and it's a war going on, but it's silhouetted, and it's so cool and creative visually, and it's got a fantastic score.
Yeah, who did the score for it? Do you remember who did the score? Is anyone quite
I'm sure.
quite well known? Or I thought it probably would be with it being a Coppola film.
Oh, I'm going to struggle to pronounce this, Gib. It's Wojciech Killer. He done The Pianist, The Ninth Gate.
Oh, okay.
As per usual, I've butchered the name, but yeah, he's done a bit. I'm not gonna lie. They all seem to be from foreign films.
Okay. Yeah, I've not heard of him though.
No, I'll be honest. I've not either. But maybe I will after this because just off the Dracula score alone. But
Yeah.
That's my pick, Gib. It's
Great pick.
It's I couldn't really do a list without a proper vampire film. I'm sure there's more on my list. Probably not.
There's one a little bit further up on my list.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I think there's two more actually on there.
We'll get to that in the coming days, Gib.
Yep.
Adios.